Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I did mention in my last video that I had some PR coming up, and this is the PR. So ModelOnes was kind enough to send me a full polygel kit with everything that you need included to complete a set, as well as dehydrator and primer. So this is the instruction manual that is just basically standard with almost every purchase, to be honest, whether it's gel polish or whatever the case may be. This will help you with step-by-step instructions, but today I am going to show you exactly how to do that. So first off, of course, the kit comes with 6 polygels. I was going to start by taking them out of the package at first, but I decided I wanted to get into everything that is underneath of them. So all the other tools that you would need are below or underneath the polygel when you take it out. There are 6 gorgeous colors, and you're going to see that here in a moment. I am going to go through swatches and everything else. So these are dual forms. I don't particularly care for dual forms. I would prefer, like, if maybe they did some full cover tips or something like that, or even half tips in the kit, but that's just me personally, but you'll see how I apply them here in a second. And then of course you get your standard polygel brush that comes with the brush on one end and the picker tool on the other. And this definitely comes in handy, especially for polygel, and it's very easy to clean. Most kits include a nail file. This one happens to include a 100-180 grit nail file that is very sturdy, and I use that in today's video. But what I also love about their kits is that you usually get some type of lamp, and in this case you get this little mini lamp. This will carry your polygel, and it's very easy to use. It does require a USB, but the wattage is strong enough to cure the polygel through the dual forms even that you saw earlier, so really like that. You also get slip solution, so a lot of times this is not included in polygel kits, and so I really love that touch. And there's another feature about that I really enjoyed today as well. And then these are the little clips that hold on the dual forms, and I will show you how these work here in a second. So I actually love these little clips, even though I don't use dual forms. Like, I just really enjoy them. I was going to try to use the dual forms today, but I decided to go another route. Like I said, I'm still going to use ModelOnes products, but I wanted to apply my nails just a little different. But this is how they would work. So you can clip them on, and then once it's on your nail, you can flip the dual form over and clean up any polygel underneath your nail before you cure it and things like that. So really nice touch that was included, because if you don't have nail tips, then dual forms would be a really good option, especially for a beginner, from shape and everything else. So or for the shape, get the perfect shape. So this is their base coat and top coat. However, I do have the 15 ml bottles of the base coat, shiny top, and matte top coat because I love ModelOnes that much. So I have purchased a lot of their products in the past, and I've always enjoyed working with them. And I'm very what I loved about this, so this is the little feature I was talking about with the slip solution, is now instead of having to like really struggle to take off that little top part, it actually has like a little lid with a lip that kind of sticks out, so it's really easy to open. You can see that it is clear. It does have a little bit of an odor to it, but it's not stronger than rubbing alcohol. It's not bothersome, but there is just a little bit of a scent to it, but it's not bad at all. It's not even strong as acetone or anything like that. It's really, really nice. So I decided to go in with color number 14. Number 13 was clear, and I was like, I don't know if I want to show that in the video. It's just clear, you know, no big deal, but I do show it because I want to talk about some of the features of the clear and some differences that I've noticed from the past, because I do have a lot of clear ModelOnes polygel as well. So for this color number 14, I show you how I swatch most of it. So I started off by going in with base coat on the underside of my swatch stick because I wasn't doing that before, but I like to cure underneath, and they basically work like a dual form. Like if you squish or squeeze or turn the oh my gosh, swatch stick, the polygel will actually pop out just like a dual form. And so I put base coat underneath my my swatch sticks now. So that way the polygel sticks and then they stay on the swatch for the lifetime of my swatch. But this color was just so beautiful. I absolutely love this pink. I was like, wow. It's definitely a baby pink. It's very soft, and when used in thin layers, it is pretty transparent. But either way, it's just a gorgeous accent to the nail. So sometimes when you swatch underneath, you might get a little bit of extra slip solution or alcohol if that's what you're using to swatch your polygel on the other side. So I just kind of wipe that off before I cure it so the top isn't tacky. But then now we're getting into the clear. And the reason why the clear was so special to me today is because ModelOnes clear used to be pretty grainy, just keeping it 100. It was not the clearest polygel in the world, but now they have perfected their formula to where, like, I haven't even swatched this, or, you know, like I haven't even patted it out or anything, and it was already clear. And then after I finished swatching, it was still clear. Like, you can just literally see through it. And sometimes, like, after you cure it, it gets even more clear for most clear polygels. And I just was like amazed by how amazing it was. It was not the same consistency as the rest of the polygel, but it's a good thing. And it did not stick to the brush or anything like that. So using their slip solution, I also did not get any discoloration or anything like that. So that was another bonus for me, even after I cured. So everything in this polygel kit was just so nice and so easy to work with. Like, I just absolutely loved it. So, and of course the colors, like that black glitter, that iridescent clear glitter, the other nude that was in the kit, and then now this gray. This is another reason why I chose the polygel kit, because it was like, excuse me, and then this is after curing. I haven't even put top coat on the back, and this clear just amazed me so much. So yeah, highly recommend ModelOnes clear now. I think I might have to go buy another tube of their clear now that they've changed the formula, because I really enjoyed it, obviously. It's very soft, but it's still very easy to work with, and it's not runny. So yeah, highly recommend. But then when I'm finished swatching, I do go ahead and go in with top coat on the back side so that it's not tacky, and cure that as well. And then after the top coat, it was just even more clear. So yeah, and like even some of the stuff you can see is actually on the top of the swatch stick, which is why it might not look so clear in some spots, but that was just from me swatching. But here are all the colors together, and like I mentioned, the gray is a color that is something you don't see very often, and I thought it was really pretty. I really like the fact that there is a nude in here, as well as like a pink and a brown nude, and all of the colors are very complementary to each other. So everything in the kit goes very well together, regardless of what colors that you want to, you know, do your design with. And so now we're getting into the Dehydrator primer that ModelOnes also sent me. So this is for maximum retention to help keep your nails on as long as possible. And they do say it lasts up to 30 days, or you can wear your nails up to 30 days. And I am currently trying that out right now. So I have a test nail on my thumb, and I also have recorded my thumb in my reel that I will be posting on TikTok and Instagram. So stay tuned for that as well. It's just a shorter version of this video, basically. But Dehydrator is just going to basically prep your nail plate and dry it out, and get rid of some of those natural oils. And then the primer is what is going to help your nails stick for better adhesion. So I did go ahead and size out these nail tips. I did put them in a separate container, but I got this nail kit off of Amazon, and I bought this a while ago with my own funds, and I really love these nail tips. Like, they fit so comfortable, and they're already matte underneath. They fit so well from sidewall to sidewall, and like I said, they're just really comfortable, and you don't have to do a lot of extra filing like around the cuticle area to round them out and make them fit if you have round cuticles. So very nice. So now I'm going in with my nail prep. I really love this cuticle bit. It's one of my favorite prep bits. Excuse me, these little cone bits. It's a medium grit, but it's a diamond bit, so it doesn't cut your cuticles or anything like that. And I'm just very gently going around my cuticles, and making sure to kind of lift them up off the nail plate a little bit and get everything. After I'm done doing that, then I go in with a 180 sanding band, and I just kind of, now there is some existing product on my nails, like from when I glued press-ons on, so there's a little bit of, you know, existing product. So, but around my cuticle, it is new growth, so I just wanted to make sure that I get that shiny part of my nail off. And now I'm going in with this dehydrator. So I go in with one round of dehydrator, and then I go in with one layer of primer. Now, usually I use 2 layers of primer when I do my nails, and like I said, that's just honestly for extra adhesion because I don't want any lifting at all. But when I first started doing my nails and starting my channel and things like that, I was already using ModelOnes dehydrator and primer. It is one of the first systems that I used, and the only reason why I switched from it is because I started using a brand where who is no longer available, or I can no longer purchase their prep and prime, but I did switch to that, and dehydrator and primer, honestly, you guys, last forever. But now that I have this, I will also keep this around, but I really used to enjoy using ModelOnes dehydrator and primer. It's good to have it back in stock, for sure. So but back to today's set. So you can see here, I just think this is the most satisfying part of doing Gel X nails, but this is the method that I am using to apply my nails with. And I'm also using the 4-in-1 glue, the ModelOnes 4-in-1 glue that came with the kit. And so, yeah, I'm just going to let you enjoy this part, and then I'll be back here in a little bit. After I have the nail tips applied, I do go in and I use a buffer to buff the shiny surface off of the nail. And then now I am just scoring my file so that it doesn't cut my skin, because files are very, very sharp. And so what I am going to do is just go ahead and taper these nail tips a little bit, taper them in a little bit to fit exactly to my nail. Sometimes they kind of like bow out a little bit, if that makes sense, on the edges and or on the sides of the nail tip. And I just didn't want them to look as round, and I just wanted them more straight. So I go in with a lint-free wipe and alcohol to get all of the dust off, and you can see them on my gloves. Now, I don't know why I continue to file and things like that when I'm wearing my UV gloves, but I do, and it is what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and make the surface of these nails tacky by adding a layer of the base coat that came with the Polygel kit, and it is really, really nice. I really enjoy this base coat. It is a little more on the thin side, but I do not mind. I do not, I mean, it's just base coat, and that's all it's supposed to be, is just a thin layer to make the nail tacky. But I also love how clear this base coat is. I don't know what my obsession is with clear things today, but I really, really love how clear the base coat is, especially if you're trying to do peekaboo, see-through nails, clear nails. After you buff everything out and you want everything to stick really well, it will just clear it right back up, and I really, really like that. So I did try to do a marble nail with 4 different colors from the kit, and it just ended up looking like muddled mess. And every time I tried it twice, and I did not like that. So I just took a lint-free wipe with alcohol again and just wiped it off of that nail. And then I decided to go in with an ombre design. So I use this really nice, that really beautiful iridescent glitter clear. And then I just kind of blend it back to where my natural nail meets the tip. And then I go ahead and smooth it out on the edge of the nail. And then I do that with the index excuse me, the middle finger, the ring finger, and eventually the thumb when I do my reel. So yeah, this turned out really pretty. But then I take that light baby pink color. Now, if I do not think something is perfect, I will go over it again and again and again, which is what I'm showing you here. And sometimes if you let clear polygel sit for a minute before you cure it, it will get even more clear. But also, you know, like as you're patting or pulling your polygel around with the brush, it kind of takes away that shiny layer. But then once it sits for a minute or two, the shiny layer will come back. And then on my ring finger, I decided to go in with a full nail of the pink. So now, like you mentioned, I'm adding that color number 14 from the kit, and it is just so pretty. I just cannot get over it. Baby pink, for some reason, is one of my favorite polygel colors, and I'm not even a pink fan, but I can't get over it. But so what I'm going to do is when I'm doing ombres, I always start around my cuticle and then I blend it down. If you have too much polygel, you can go ahead and take some of the excess off. Now, for some reason, I added extra to my middle finger and my ring finger, thinking that I would need more than what I did, and wiped it on the paper towel, and or not wiped it on a paper towel, but I don't know why I added that extra because I really didn't need it. And it, like I said, I just ended up using or wasting product at that point, and so I was kind of like mad at myself for that. The polygel tubes aren't very big at all, but like I said, you really don't need much. And if you're a nail enthusiast or a DIYer, or even if you have your nail tech license, to be honest, like once you have a decent polygel collection, you don't really use many colors that often. You're not going to run out of polygel in like 2 days, even though they're smaller tubes. They're still going to last you quite a while, just depending on, of course, the length of the nails that you do and how much you can minimize that waste. So yeah, I try not to waste any polygel at all so that I could use it as much as possible or in as many sets as possible, but just didn't happen that way today. So, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and watch the rest of the process or the rest of the ombre, and then I'll be back. That is what everything is looking like once it's cured. I do cure everything for 60 seconds. I also wanted to mention I did cure in between the glitter and the pink. And now I am going in with that clear polygel, this amazing clear polygel. And I am going to use that to protect the glitter and the ombre. The cool thing about polygel is that even if you're using like a glitter polygel, doesn't matter how much you file it, unless you file it completely off, you're going to be able to see that glitter through the entire thing. So do you have to encapsulate your glitter polygel? No, you don't have to. But in this case, I'm doing an ombre, and of course I didn't want my nails to be too thick and things like that. But with doing an ombre, to protect the ombre so I don't file through it to where it just looks like mush, I did protect it with a layer of this clear polygel. I did not clear cap the pink polygel. Obviously, the pink polygel can stand by itself, but like I said, that is one of my favorite things about polygel, is that if the color is consistent through the entire thing. So it's not like you're going to file through glitter and it'll look all weird or different and things like that. So, and the fact that it doesn't smell, that is one of my other favorite things about it. So yeah, this design just turned out so cute and amazing, and you could kind of see my towel was getting a little scruffy, so I folded it over and then put my slip solution on the clean part or the underside of the towel that I folded over. Like I said, I think I mentioned in my last video, I just like to keep a really nice and neat and organized desk space, because it gets a little crazy, especially if I'm doing like nail art or something and I have a lot of stuff on my desk. But I just cannot stand clutter. The second I'm done with the set, I like to put everything away and all that good stuff. So here's what everything is looking like cured again. And right now I'm just going in and I'm removing that dispersion layer from the polygel on top of the clear, because I am going to now go in and file. So I actually like to use a combination of both my hand file and my e-file. So I use my e-file around my cuticle to even out my cuticle again. Well, not again, but just to kind of tuck everything in and make it look really nice around the cuticle. And then I use my hand file to kind of go over the top of the nail and also file in the sides if I need to get my shape back and things like that. So yeah, I just feel like I have more control with a hand file. So I don't file away too much or things like that. I wouldn't say I've had accidents with my e-file, but I have had moments where I use too much pressure and then my e-file just took my apex off like right away. Like immediately, and I wasn't expecting that and things like that. So yeah, Polygel is really soft and easy to file. So especially this, because on top of it being a full cover tip, I did not use a thick layer of Polygel, so it just did not take much filing at all. And as you can see, I have a really nice apex because I use the full cover tip. It's kind of like, I call them training wheels because using a full cover tip, the apex is already there, especially with these nails. They're very, very sculpted and just really beautiful. And so as long as you're following that full cover tip, like the apex and everything, then you shouldn't have too much trouble. Like I said, just as long as you're not applying your polygel really thick on top of your full cover tip, the nail still looks very slender and very nice and not as bulky, but you still have your apex and just a really, really pretty shape. So, and as you can see now, I am just gently taking my e-file with my 180 sanding band that I used on my nails earlier. I'm just taking that same sanding band, going around my cuticles very gently on about 5,000 RPMs, and then just kind of very, very gently going over that apex area and making sure I buff out the nails so that I don't have any of those scratches from the nail file on my nails when I go to put on the top coat. So I just went ahead and decided to also use the top coat from the kit, even though I had my own the 15 ml bottles. I still just decided to use the top coat from the kit. And a long, long time ago, I got this ModelOnes cuticle oil from a different kit somewhere along the way, and it has no scent to it, but it just absorbs right into your skin, and it is amazing and it is fabulous. And it just makes your cuticles, it literally nourishes your cuticles and makes them really, really nice. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video and enjoyed this ModelOnes Polygel kit. Again, everything will be linked down in the description box below. And I hope to see you, or no, actually it's not the end, because I want to thank you all so much for being the best part of my channel. And you already know that I could not leave my nails plain. So excuse me, these looked really pretty just the way that they were, but I did go in with a little bit of glitz and glam and decided to jazz them up a little bit because I just can't leave them this way. But had I decided to, they would have been just as pretty, but you know, a little bit of pearls never hurt anybody. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you to ModelOnes. Don't forget to check the description box for everything down below, and I will see you in my next video.
Clouds. Yeah, you deserve much better. You deserve much better.